Hello and welcome to an episode which deals in educational application, public utility of virtual reality and multimedia skills. In this lesson, we are going to learn about multimedia and its application in different fields, how multimedia can be used as a tool for education. We will also talk about virtual reality and try to understand the various developments in the field of VR or virtual reality. How VR can be used in different fields of day-to-day life. An understanding of these technologies is important for their implication. I am Amrita Ghosh Kumar and the subject expert for this lesson is Mr. Dharmendra Kumar, who is an assistant professor at the Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Noida. The multimedia technology plays a vital role in training and education. Its inherent ability to reach and educate masses implies that it has a vital role in building and influencing people. Introduction of technology to teach masses is the need of the time. Multimedia has the potential and the power to do so. An understanding about multimedia brings awareness and knowledge. Multimedia can be applied in different fields such as science, research, education, training, skill development, marketing, advertising, etc. An understanding of virtual reality and its application in different fields. How VR can be used as a medium for training the blind and giving them the real feel of the world. The word multimedia is self-explanatory. Multi means many and media means the medium. Multimedia is the media that uses multiple forms of information content and information processing. For example, text, audio, graphics, animation, video and interactivity to inform or entertain the user. Multimedia also refers to the use of electronic media to store and experience multimedia content. Multimedia is similar to traditional mixed media in fine arts, but with a broader scope. The term rich media is synonymous for interactive multimedia. So multimedia is all about communicating in several ways. For example, the computer you are using to view this material is capable of flashing text and beeping when there is a problem. It is already a multimedia computer. Anything else is a matter of degree. In other words, the more capable your computer is at handling sound, video and graphics, the better your multimedia packages will look. There seems to be a rising flourish of enthusiasm about internet courseware and multimedia. Additional individuals learn the more they want to learn. There are a number of advantages to using audio over the internet. Professors are able to create archive lectures or live broadcasts, allowing for asynchronous or synchronous communication. They have been experimenting with live audio broadcasts and they see an advantage in the interaction. Students can call in similar to a talk or radio show and talk to the professor rather than passively listening. Audio over the internet also allows instructors to provide guest lectures from all over the world at low costs. The capacity to archive these presentations makes them available at times convenient for students for review. Multimedia presentations may be viewed in person on stage, projected, transmitted or played locally with a media player. A broadcast may be a live or recorded multimedia presentation. Broadcasts and recordings can be either analog or digital electronic media technology. Digital online multimedia may be downloaded or streamed. Streaming multimedia may be live or on demand. Multimedia games and simulations may be used in a physical environment with special effects, with multiple users in an online network, or locally with an offline computer, game system or simulator. Enhanced levels of interactivity are made possible by combining multiple forms of media content. But depending on what multimedia content you have, it may vary. Online multimedia is increasingly becoming object-oriented and data-driven, enabling applications with collaborative end-user innovation and personalization on multiple forms of content over time. Examples of these range from multiple forms of content on websites like photo galleries with both images, that is picture, and titles, which is text, user-updated, to simulations whose coefficient events, illustrations, animations or videos are modifiable, allowing the multimedia experience to be altered without reprogramming. The applications of multimedia in different areas is increasing day by day. Some of the areas are advertisements, art, education, entertainment, engineering, medicine, mathematics, business scientific research, and spatial temporal application. Some of the application areas of multimedia are creative industries. In creative industries, multimedia is used for a variety of purposes, ranging from fine arts to entertainment to commercial art to journalism to media and software services, provided for any of the industries. Commercial, to make exciting presentations, multimedia is used, and to grab and keep attention in advertising. Industrial, business to business, and inter-office communications are often developed by creative service firms for advanced multimedia presentations beyond simple slideshows, to sell ideas or to liven up training. Entertainment and fine arts. Multimedia is heavily used in the entertainment industry, especially to develop special effects in movies and animations. Multimedia games are a popular pastime and are software programs available either as CD-ROMs or online. Education. In education, multimedia is used to produce computer-based training courses, also known as CBTs, and reference books like encyclopedias and almanacs. A CBT lets the user go through a series of presentations, text about a particular topic, and associated illustrations in various information formats. Edutainment is an informal term used to describe combining education with entertainment, especially multimedia entertainment. Engineering. Software engineers are using multimedia in computer simulations for anything from entertainment to training such as military or industrial training. Industry. The industrial sector uses multimedia to help present information to shareholders, superiors, and co-workers. Multimedia is also helpful for providing employee training, advertising, and selling products all over the world via virtually unlimited web-based technologies. Mathematical and scientific research. In mathematical and scientific research, multimedia is mainly used for modeling and simulation. For example, a scientist can look at a molecular model of a particular substance and manipulate it to arrive at a new substance. Medicine. In medicine, doctors can get trained by looking at a virtual surgery, or they can simulate how the human body is affected by disease spread by viruses and bacteria, and then develop techniques to prevent it. Multimedia in public places. In hotels, railway stations, shopping malls, museums and grocery stores, multimedia will become available at standalone terminals or kiosks to provide information and help. A virtual reality system is a sophisticated multimedia environment in which users are exposed to and can participate in surrogate tacto-audiovisual experiences. These experiences are created by means of a computer system to which are attached special types of peripheral devices, enabling users to interact with the real and artificial objects that exist within the interaction environment. As individuals, we exist in a world that continuously presents us with new experiences, and one way of learning to deal appropriately with them is to generate them artificially. Many areas of education benefit from the use of pseudo-real situations which enable students to learn in a risk-free environment. The different examples of these available techniques include role-playing, models and simulations, surrogations, synthetic actors, microworlds, artificial reality kits, and the virtual reality systems. Each of these techniques allows a different degree of realism to be achieved. Part of the attraction of artificial and virtual realities is that they allow us to go beyond the limits of what is real. Artificial reality, as defined by Kruger, 1991, perceives a participant's action in terms of a body's relationship to a graphical world and generates responses that maintain the illusion that his or her actions are taking place within that world. Whereas, for Kruger, virtual reality is another term for artificial reality that applies only to systems implemented with goggles and gloves, the special peripherals that enable the user of VR to perceive the virtual world and to interact with it. The quality of VR systems can be measured in terms of its distance from a real environment from the point of view of its patron. Naturally, a patron's satisfaction or otherwise with a VR experience will depend on a large number of factors. However, two important considerations are deck ergonomics and psychosemantics. The subject of deck ergonomics is concerned with issues such as how comfortable the VR equipment is to wear and the adverse physical and/or mental effects it might have on the human body. The subject of psychosemantics is concerned with the quality and meaning of the artificial worlds generated, thus with issues such as the ways in which the brain handles illusion and the problems of dissonance that may arise as a result of experiences in different cyberspace environments. However, because VR systems are so new, little work has yet been done in this area. The major technologies have influenced virtual reality and in all likelihood will continue to do so. They are television, remote control, 3D graphics and animation, display technology, and 3D human-computer interfaces. A major feature of television is that it enables us to observe remote events and so allows us to experience the phenomenon of telepresence, in other words, to be present in any location in which a TV camera can be placed. A conventional TV broadcast does not, of course, involve a viewer in the kind of direct interaction required by a virtual reality system. Closed-circuit TV, on the other hand, can offer levels of interactivity unavailable in conventional broadcast TV. For example, in situations where the viewer can control the orientation of the TV camera. In order to achieve this, it is necessary to provide some sort of remote control facility such as a joystick, a steering wheel, or, looking to VR systems, a device worn on the head, allowing the viewer to control the displayed view. The importance of remote control technology in this context lies in the fact that when it is coupled with telepresence, it allows the implementation of teleoperation and telerobotics. Remote control technology thus enables us to create artificial experiences in which a person can participate interactively. In a VR system, the major function of the graphics and animation software is to generate 3D graphical worlds within the memory space of the host computer. Computers are needed in order to create images which have the quality of those we continuously perceive through our natural visual system. The high-speed parallel computers needed to produce images of this sort would be far too expensive for widespread use in VR systems. Consequently, a compromise has to be achieved. Image quality has to be sacrificed in order to meet realizable costs. These worlds will contain two basic types of object, static and animated. The static objects provide the contextual environment. The animated objects move around the 3D world, interacting with each other and with the static objects. But the objects we perceive in our real world, the objects in artificial realities, can be given any special properties the VR designer may wish them to have. The commonest form of display is a simple flat screen of the everyday computer monitor variety. But there are three major disadvantages associated with it. First, the range of colors and resolution that can be achieved is relatively low unless expensive equipment is used. Secondly, it is difficult to project to the viewer a feeling of three-dimensional realism. Thirdly, extraneous events and objects within the environment in which the display is located can exert a distractive influence on the viewer, thereby reducing the ambience of the VR. There are a number of ways of overcoming each of these problems through the use of special display technologies. In particular, various types of helmet and goggles can exclude the viewer's local environment, thus reducing the chances of interference between reality and artificial reality. Such head-mounted devices provide a stereoscopic display system that projects a wide-angle 3D panorama directly into the viewer's retina. The particular view observed can be controlled by head movements, voice commands, and hand gestures. Equipment of this sort allows exploration of a spherical field of view which can be derived from either a simulated or a remotely sensed environment. In order to interact with the real or the imaginary objects contained within a VR system, special types of 3D devices are needed. The best known kinds of interaction peripheral for use in VR work are data gloves, body suits, and various types of hand or foot control. The function of a data glove and its supporting hardware or software is to provide data that will enable hand position and orientation in 3D space to be calculated. The glove must also provide data that reflects the relative position and crooking of the fingers. If two data gloves are used simultaneously, one on each hand, further data can be made available which gives the position of one hand relative to that of the other. The data produced by data gloves is usually stored and processed in the form of movement pattern vectors. Because of the amount and complexity of the data produced, neural networks are often used to analyze and interpret the meaning of hand gestures. Several types of gloves are currently available, the most common being the data glove produced in VPL research in California. This glove embeds a 3D location sensor and uses optical fiber cabling to detect finger movement. Another well-known example is the dexterous handmaster produced by Exos, which uses an intricate exoskeletal arrangement of sensors that fit over the back of the hand. The sensors are held over each finger joint by lightweight pads and Velcro straps, and each sensor houses both a Hall effect magnetic pickup and a magnet. The type of glove used in any given VR situation will depend on the particular functions to be performed. For example, in some of our work, we have been exploring the use of low-cost data gloves for developing simple gestural control, languages based on finger-touching operations involving the simultaneous use of two gloves. convergence of technology and creative invention in multimedia is virtual reality or VR. Goggles, helmets, special gloves and bizarre human interfaces attempt to place you inside a lifelike experience. Take a step forward and the view gets closer. Turn your head and the view rotates. Reach out and grab an object, your hand moves in front of you. Virtual reality or VR is a powerful new way to use computers. VR eliminates the traditional separation between user and machine, providing more direct and intuitive interaction with information. Virtual reality is referred to immersive multimedia, where an environment is simulated in 3D and the users can interact with and feel if they are in the real one. Virtual reality applications use different display devices that can give more immersive feelings. Examples of one device is the cave, where a person stands and moves in a room where all surrounding walls and even the floor display corresponding views from the environment, and the whole environment reacts with the person interactions. We can create virtual worlds and step inside to see, hear, touch and modify them. Now computing power has increased to meet the demands of real-time processing. VR technology has entered a period of public attention and wide industrial interest. Major corporations and companies worldwide are actively exploring the use of this technology for a variety of application areas, including telecommunications, arcades and home entertainment, production and assembly management, healthcare, digital design, and product sales and marketing. Applications of virtual reality usually used in training, testing, and education and entertainment. Many fields have used effectively virtual reality like healthcare, education, military tourism, architecture, heritage, engineering, and others. The majority of VR applications described heavily on a user's visual channels of perception. The pages of Braille could be mounted on various types of touch-sensitive surfaces to be used for information output and input. Depending on the effect to be produced, two pages could simultaneously be read and touched, one with each hand. The design and testing of a prototype data glove is to facilitate the computer interpretation of simple gesticulative sign languages using a neural network system. Although there is yet much more work to be done with this equipment, we feel that the progress made to date and its potential in supporting the generation of VR environments for the disabled is encouraging. VR technologies will undoubtedly have a significant impact over the next decade in terms of the potential benefits they can bring to disabled people in areas such as learning, new kinds of sensory and cognitive experience, new kinds of communication aids, training facilities, and various kinds of spin-off development. One of the attractive features of VR as a learning tool is its ability to display objects and situations not normally visible to humans and to enable humans to interact with them. For example, by reaching out to touch the atoms of a complex molecule. And just as easily, it could convert a wheelchair into a vehicle capable of allowing its occupant to explore. For example, virtual safari parks or cities anywhere in the world. Equally, because they are based on sophisticated simulations, VR systems also enable us to explore learning domains by means of what-if experiments, the results of which will simulate the development of cognitive models and mental skills that could be applied in many situations. Thus, future VR systems will undoubtedly offer exciting ways of learning, of course including experimental learning. The ability to encounter new types of physical and cognitive experience depends on our ambulatory capability and the power of the perceptual tools we have available. But VR can provide mobility in situations where there may be immobility, and through the use of special peripherals and special effects can generate sensation where previously there may have been none. In short, VR systems can produce a wide range of new experiences for people who would normally not be able to encounter them. Of course, the events that create the experiences will be of an illusory nature, but the effects they produce can be as stimulating and as exciting as real events. The development of new types of technology for sensing body movement and stimulating the senses of sight, sound and touch are making possible many new types of communication aids. Example, data gloves and bodysuits. Using these type of equipments, it is possible to design an almost infinite variety of languages for communication based on almost any form of body movement, gesture, mime, touch or sonic utterance. Indeed, the technology on which VR is based makes it possible for each individual to have access to a private language that can then be mapped to one or more commonly accepted public language systems. Using VR itself as a total personal communication medium may be a future goal, though it has to be said that the concept of the VR phone is some way off. The use of computer-based technologies to provide training facilities, and given the nature of the simulated environments they are capable of producing, VR systems are becoming an important knowledge and skill transfer tool for training people to perform complex and difficult tasks such as driving a car, piloting an airplane, and performing delicate surgical operations using simulated patients. VR environments can be used to develop and practice interpersonal skills such as public speaking, interviewing, participation in group discussion, speaking, understanding and reading foreign languages, etc. VR systems are also being used to provide rehabilitation environments in which to redevelop basic cognitive and motor skills after a debilitating accident or traumatic experience. And there is significant potential for training systems based on VR within the area of medical diagnostics. It will clearly not be sensible to say yet that VR offers limitless opportunities for training, but over the next decade, it will certainly be used in an increasing number of applications in this area. The advancement of the technology is the need of the day. If the world is developing and growing faster, how can we be left out? We have to adopt and develop the skill so that we can compete with the world. Lot of things have already been done and a lot of things is going to be done in the future. Multimedia can be used in the field of skill development. India is lacking behind in skilled manpower. Our education system provides only education and degree. With a population of more than 1 billion people, we can create a huge number of trained and skilled manpower by the use of this technology. In the field of medical science, we can do a lot like developing new technology for the physically handicapped and challenged people. That is all for today. Hope you found the subject useful. We'll see you soon with another topic. Till then, goodbye.